Ready, headlines?
Roll headlines.
Members of LA's Latino community have some questions about getting the H1N1 vaccine. World War II Filipino veterans rally in Los Angeles. And fashion plays a role in raising money for a new intensive care unit at a local hospital.
Hello and welcome to our final Valley View News Show for this semester. I'm Tiara Nowlin.
And I'm Matt Johnson. An underground explosion in a Chinese coal mine has left more than 100 miners dead. The massive blast in a northeastern province erupted at night while some 500 miners were still underground. The disaster is the deadliest for the Chinese mining industry in 2 years. Families of the victims want answers and say mining officials have not given them any details. Chinese state media are reporting the mine's director, along with 2 others, have been fired. China's economy relies heavily on coal, yet its busy mines are the deadliest in the world.
Deaf students at CSUN are facing a very difficult experience this semester due to the budget cuts. Valley View News reporter Jacqueline Guzman has a story.
As thousands of students struggle with the raise of tuition and budget cuts, many others who do attend classes are not exempt of the effects all these problems are causing. That's the situation of many deaf students who during this semester have been lacking the services of an interpreter.
I'm not having interpreters show up to my class. Often my interpreters are not coming to the assignments that I asked them for, and I'm not able to get them for other courses. And my grades are actually suffering for it.
At CSUN, there are 185 deaf or hard-hearing students. Out of those, 145 requiring interpreters, and 12 did not receive the necessary help.
No interpreters showed up the entire first week, and I kept encountering this situation. I was a little upset, so I went and spoke with the NCOD and discussed the National Center on Deafness and discussed my concerns with them, and they told me that they were trying to get interpreters in the course and that it would be resolved soon.
In a recent interview with CSUN Vice President Terry Piper, he said they will allocate money from the $100,000 stimulus appropriation package to help increase the interpreters' hours of work. However, he had also said that next year the budget cuts will worsen. That's one of the reasons why students and staff decided to support their deaf students and the deaf community in general.
My students, as a result of 2 deaf students who were denied interpreter services, my students decided to rally for the cause against the budget crisis here at Cal State Northridge and in the CSU.
They accepted me as a deaf student, just as I am, and now they're not providing interpreters.
According to the school system, interpreters' hours are prioritized by educational importance, beginning with classes, then by out-of-class requirements, and finally optional services. In Northridge, for Valley View News, I'm Jacqueline Guzman.
The Los Angeles City Council is deciding how many medical marijuana dispensaries are too many. The number of shops in LA boomed from 186 to about 1,000 over the last 2 years. On Melrose Avenue between Highland and Fairfax, 13 shops opened this year alone. The council is suggesting 2 solutions to regain control. The first is to force shops to be at least 1,000 feet from other pot shops, schools, and places often visited by children. The other would be a cap, bringing the number back to 186 and shutting down all other dispensaries. Some people worry that too many pot shops bring in crime and parking problems. But advocates say a cap could limit access and force some shops to go out of business. The debate will continue as the council decides which solution will work best for the city.
Some Los Angeles area patients have been getting too much radiation from CAT scans. Glendale Adventist Medical Center says 10 patients received 3 to 4 times the correct amount. The hospital officials say the mistake was made when the machine was reprogrammed for new procedures. The Department of Public Health found the problem. Earlier this year, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center said 260 of its patients were given radiation 8 times the proper amount.
Some Latinos say they are worried about getting the H1N1 flu vaccine. Valley View's Shayla Selva reports that public health officials are working to encourage vaccinations.
Many people in the Latino community are aware of the H1N1 virus, but they still have doubts and questions about the vaccine.
I'm afraid to receive it. Why? Because I really don't know as much information about it. I don't know what it does to my body, and I need to know if there's side effects to it.
Mariana Alvarez is a Los Angeles public health spokeswoman. She says it is important to clarify the facts about H1N1 and the vaccine.
Well, we know that, especially within the Latino communities, there's a fear of vaccination because A, it was made really quickly, B, it's provided by the government. There's always that fear, going into a clinic. The vaccine, the H1N1 vaccine, is safe and it's effective.
Another concern is not knowing who is at greatest risk for the virus.
H1N1 flu is targeting the younger population and pregnant women. The seasonal flu tends to be higher risk for the elderly population.
Alvarez says people can take basic steps to limit the effects of the flu.
For the general population, if we're healthy individuals not fitting in the priority group, we can take care of the flu by resting, staying at home, drinking a lot of liquids, taking acetaminophen or ibuprofen at home and resting. It's really, those are measures that we can do as a general population and let the priority group who have more risks.
Alvarez works with Latino organizations to spread the word about the H1N1 vaccine. There's been many myths within the Latino community about whether or not one should receive the H1N1 vaccine. However, many health informants say getting the H1 vaccine will and can prevent future infections. In Los Angeles, I'm Shayla Selva for Valley View News.
The beating of a 12-year-old Calabasas boy will not be treated as a hate crime. The attack occurred at A.E. Wright Middle School when about 14 of the boy's classmates punched and kicked him. He was not severely injured. The incident may have been motivated by a Facebook message that told people to attack those with red hair. The victim does have red hair. But the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says the beating does not meet the criteria of a hate crime. No arrests were made in the attack.
Senate Democrats have finally gotten the votes they need to move ahead with the debate on health care, but it wasn't easy. The vote was 60-39 in favor of advancing the bill for debate, barely the number of votes needed. Some who voted for the debate say they won't vote to pass the bill as it stands now. No Republicans support the bill, and Democrats will need all their members and independents to thwart a filibuster. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill would extend health care to 31 million Americans and reduce the federal deficit by $130 billion over the next 10 years. The debate is set to resume after Congress returns from its Thanksgiving break.
Green California businesses are taking advantage of what's left of the struggling auto industry. Solar and wind energy companies are hiring the skilled workers and using vacant auto factories. They say facilities in the Midwest and the Northeast are best at working with steel. That's just the kind of thing energy companies need to make solar power equipment, hybrid cars, and wind turbines. One Arizona company has farmed out $40 million of work to Midwestern states.
Some World War II vets in Los Angeles say their sacrifices have been forgotten. They are Filipino vets who fought for the U.S. military, but say they have not received military benefits. Joseph Prado reports.
Veterans Day is a time to honor those who have served their country, and to do that, a group of protesters marched through downtown Los Angeles for Filipino veterans of World War II. These former soldiers who served in the American military are seeking the full benefits of a U.S. veteran that were once promised to them if they were to enlist. Unfortunately, President Truman took away their benefits to avoid the financial burden of supporting 250,000 Filipinos like Jack Varaga, who needs government aid like all American soldiers.
Our income is just coming from the federal aid, like the SSI, but that's not enough to sustain our living.
Only 15,000 remain today, and none receive the school and hospital benefits normally given to all veterans. That's what keeps veteran Franco Arcebol going. He says to bring justice to those lost, they must tell how they were significant to the American cause.
The prestige of America and the Far East is in danger, and they need the Philippine soldiers to fight.
Advocates say the government has saved billions in not supporting Filipino war veterans, but they are finally being recognized for serving in the military. President Obama gave lump sums from $9,000 to $15,000 to them earlier this year for their service. Arcebol says it will help, but it took more than 60 years of waiting.
This is a monument to Jose Rizal, one of the Philippines' national heroes, but it was also the rallying point for the Filipino Veteran March. Filipino veterans of World War II have until mid-February to file for their claims. In historic Filipino town, I'm Joseph Prado, Valley View News.